it's Dr. Ethan, the new chiropractor here at Vibrant Health Solutions Therapy Works. It is a cold one today, so we wanted to give you a few tips on how you can help your joint pain or stiffness or things like that through this cold weather, okay? So obviously, the first thing is gonna be to bundle up, okay? We know that when we are cold, our muscles shorten, they tighten, we start to shiver. What that does is it puts a lot of tension on our postural muscles. We essentially don't want that to happen, okay? So what we need to do is bundle up. Don't forget scarves, gloves, thick socks even, anything you can do to try to keep that cold wind off of our neck, off of our skin, okay? The next thing is gonna be, because we're layering up, we need to adjust for that heavier clothing, okay? We can put an extra 5-10 pounds on us with a really heavy coat and some sweaters under that. So that's gonna change our center of gravity. So it's super important that we keep our solid footing. So when we have all those layers on, a backpack or a purse or a bag is going to affect that too. So making sure that we are accounting for that change in our center of gravity. So you might have to take some shorter steps also, even if it's not icy in the area. But also we do know that we can slip on ice, and that does not help us in any way. So having proper footwear is going to be really important too. We want something that isn't going to slip and slide on that ice or even snow. So something that has good traction. You don't want to wear your worn out Crocs or your gym shoes that you've been just using on the treadmill. We really want to see some nice tread on the bottom of those shoes too. So I'm going to say that a hiking shoe is probably going to be best. They're going to have the best traction, the best grip on the outsole. With those, I think it's important to have something with what's called thermopolyurethane. It's a type of plastic that actually, as it's getting wetter, it starts to get grippier. Those are going to be on the bottom of most of your modern hiking shoes. So that's going to be a really good place to go with that. And then again, making shorter strides. We don't want to put too much weight on our back or our front foot. We want it to be pretty evenly balanced between left and right, and then when we're walking, front and back. When we're at work, some of you might not have the most well-heated offices. What we want to do is avoid slouching, okay? Again, that kind of goes towards that muscle tightness. Ultimately, we need to be aware of our posture, standing, seating, walking, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna definitely notice when you're shivering, when you're cold, those shoulders are gonna come up to your ears and make these muscles tight, and you're probably gonna get achy and pain there. So we also see it between the shoulder blades and the mid-back too. Taking a few seconds to open up, let those shoulders roll back, standing up from your desk if you're working inside, just letting those joints move the way they're supposed to is gonna help us avoid that stiffness. It's always worth noting also to try to use your core whenever you can. The idea I've always heard is walk around like you're expecting somebody to smack you in the belly. It's not going to hurt as much if you got that core tightened up, and really we're able to move our upper body independent from our lower body much better if we're doing that throughout the day. The next thing, again, focusing just on ergonomics. So this is our seated posture. We want to be able to be sure that we've got our chin back instead of rolling forward. Our shoulders back is going to be probably the hardest part here, but what we want to try to do is get this upper arm bone straight pointed down to the ground. When you're at your desk, you don't want to be too far up raised with your elbows, because what we want to do is have a 90-degree angle here at the elbow, so we're keeping those joints aligned. And that also goes when we're seated as well. We want this hip, knee, and ankle to all try to be at 90 degrees for as much of our day. That makes sure that the joints are properly moving. That makes sure that those muscles are at the right length throughout our day. Yeah, we can also get pain when we're offloading the work of our postural muscles. Those muscles they're meant to be activated all throughout the day at a low grade. But what happens when we get this head shifted forward, we get these shoulders rolled, we start to use some of our muscles that are meant for strength as opposed to endurance. So you're asking those really strong muscles to be activated throughout the entire day. They're going to get tired, they're going to get sore and achy, and you're going to get lots of trigger points throughout those muscles too. Last but not least, just do your best to stay active and hydrated. Those are two things that oftentimes will fall by the wayside. My vet told me to care for my dogs by giving them a little less food, because we're not going down as many long walks as many times a week. We're playing in the backyard for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. The same goes for us too. If we can do our best to get out there and stay as active as possible, we're going to be in a really good shape. It's always worth noting, you might as well just try your best to get as much water in as possible, but at least 64 ounces throughout the day, not all at once, but throughout the day. If you're thinking that is 8-ounce cups throughout the day. So I know you can do that. It's something, especially in the winter, that thirst reflex isn't as heavy. We got to try our hardest to get as much water in as possible. Yeah, if you need to set a timer, that is great. To get up, stretch, get your water, 20-30 minutes at a time. You can afford to miss 30 seconds of work for all that. So those are our tips for keeping your joints healthy throughout the winter during these freezing temperatures. Again, I'm Dr. Ethan, the new chiropractor here at Vibrant Health Solutions Therapy Works. Stay warm out there.